Toad has been protecting Princess Peach and letting Mario know she's in another castle for as long as we can remember. When you look at an adorable Toad, their head immediately jumps out to you. You know, because he has a gigantic mushroom on his head. This mushroom on Toad's head has led to plenty of speculation about what it actually is. Is it a part of his head? Is it just a hat? Well, those are both possibilities, but it could also be something a lot darker and more sinister than you ever thought possible. Now, I'm not picking sides. Whether you're Team Hat, Team Head, or Team Mystery is solely your decision. A smart decision, though, would be to choose Team Gamer and click that big red subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our gaming content here at TheGamer. Also, ring that bell to become a part of our notification squad so you never miss a video. Welcome to Gameology, where we'll find out what's actually going on with Toad's head. Have you ever sat down and really analyzed Toad to try to figure out what he actually is? Well, don't just stare at the giant mushroom on his head, guys. Make it a little less obvious. Is it a hat or a part of his head? Well, it's my job to answer your burning questions because I just care about you all so much. After hours and hours of incredible life-changing research, it turns out that there are 3 schools of thought centered around Toad's mushroom head. Team Hat believes it's a hat. Duh. Team Head believes it's a part of his head. Shocking. And Team Mystery believes it's neither a hat nor a part of his head, but we'll obviously get into that last because, you know, suspense. Why don't we begin with Team Hat? Raise your hand if you ever watched the Super Mario Bros. Super Show cartoon. I actually can't see if you're raising your hand or not. Or can I? I can't. This is actually pre-recorded. If you've seen the cartoon, you're not missing out on much, except for proof that Toad's mushroom is actually a hat. In one of the episodes, Toad removes his mushroom to reveal 3 strands of hair. The mushroom is just a toupee of sorts that Toads use to cover up their male pattern baldness. In another instance on the Super Show, a Toad falls from the sky and lifts up his mushroom to use it as a parachute. But this leads to the big question everyone always asks: whether the Super Mario Bros. Super Show is canon or not. This, my dear viewers, is certainly up for debate. Most people believe it's not canon, but I'd like to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments section below if you think this evidence counts. In the meantime, I have even more proof it's a hat for all you haters out there. Or should I say, all you hatters out there. Take a look at this picture. Every Toad here has a different colored mushroom with a shirt that matches the same color. So the mushroom must be part of an interchangeable uniform then, right? If they wanted to wear yellow at Club Toad tonight, then they could just grab their yellow shirt and their yellow mushroom and have a night on the town. Toads might actually be more fashion-forward than you thought. Also, if we take a trip down to Super Mario 3D World, you could play as a blue Toad. If Toad gets a power-up, his outfit changes and a different piece of headgear resembling a helmet appears on his head. Now, you're probably thinking he can obviously put a helmet over his mushroom, but it definitely doesn't seem like it. His head is actually smaller with the helmet on, so unless his mushroom is like hair, which can be squished and fit inside the helmet, it's impossible his mushroom is underneath it. In other games like Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, we see Toads with hair coming out from the bottom of their mushroom. If hair can grow underneath the mushroom, it's definitely only a hat, or else that would just be crazy painful. So you're definitely sold on the fact that Toad's mushroom head is a hat, right? I know, I'm a damn good salesman, but I got even more theories to sell. Let's get into the second school of thought. Team Head. Let's begin with some very techie stuff that all you game developers love. Yeah, we're going to be looking at Toad's character model and how it's rendered in the Mario franchise. Oftentimes, game devs will find shortcuts to reduce unnecessary rendering. Not only will these shortcuts get the job done just as good as doing it the hard way, but they will also make the game use less processing power, allowing it to run smoother and more efficiently. The shortcut involves rendering the character model as one entity instead of multiple parts coming together as one. YouTuber Shesez took this one step further and actually went inside of Toad's character model to see if his head and mushroom were rendered separately. It turns out there's not one 3D Mario game where Toad's mushroom is rendered separately from his head, meaning they are a package deal. Let's compare this to another Nintendo character. For example, Koopa Kid in Mario Party 4 has his shell rendered separately from the rest of his body, even though we'll never see him without a shell. This unnecessary rendering can only mean one thing: Toad's mushroom is a part of his head. The developers could have rendered them separately if they wanted to, but decided not to. If you've ever played Super Mario Strikers Charged, you know exactly why it's called that. Electricity for days. And you know that saying about playing with electricity. If you play with electricity, you're going to get electrocuted, and Toad is no different. A screenshot of Toad getting electrocuted shows he has a normal-sized skull, but a gigantic head, making it look like he has the most amazing afro of all time. I mean, seriously, I wish I had a full head of hair like that. If the mushroom cap was a hat, it would be distinguishable in the photo, but since it's a part of his head, it's all black. Earlier, we talked about the Toads with hair coming out from under their mushroom and how they throw a wrench in Team Head's theory, but there's one character that's different from the rest: Toadette. She has two pigtails in her hair, but if you take a closer look at them, you will see that they're not coming from hair underneath her mushroom. They're either extensions attached to the mushroom or a growth coming from within the mushroom itself. Either way, it's not coming from underneath the mushroom, making it another point for Team Head. There's a little bit of a spoiler coming up, so I suggest you close your eyes and mute your video for a bit if you haven't beaten Super Mario Odyssey yet. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course you've beaten the game! Well, once you show Bowser who's boss, you can go back to the Mushroom Kingdom. One of the first things you'll notice are all the Toads hanging out. Just one look and you'll see. They're wearing hats on top of their mushrooms. In fact, one Toad even has one of Cappy's friends from the Cap Kingdom on his head. If you talk to this one, he'll tell you that Princess Peach brought all these hats back from the moon as souvenirs. Isn't she lovely? Well, unless Toads like wearing hats on top of hats, which you should seriously try because it's all the rage in 2018, it looks like this is more definitive proof that the mushroom is part of their head. If this doesn't convince you, there was an extremely scientific and infallible poll to decide whether the community thinks Toad's mushroom is a hat or part of his head on Twitter. It turns out that 66% of the community believes that Toad's mushroom is a part of his head. And if that still isn't enough for all of you gameologists out there, in February of 2018, Yoshiaki Koizumi, the director of Super Mario Odyssey, confirmed in a Dev Talk video on YouTube that Toad's mushroom is actually a part of his head and left it up to the hardcore fans to find out how it works. Yep, one of the big corporate cats confirmed it, so Team Head wins! Toad's mushroom is a part of his head. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Hold up just a second now. Don't buy into this Nintendo propaganda. There could definitely be another explanation as to what Toad's mushroom actually is. A cordyceps fungus. We call this school of thought Team Mystery because it's dark and scary as hell. Even for me. What you need to know about the cordyceps fungus is that it releases spores into the air which can infect ants. When infected by cordyceps spores, the ants lose control of their decisions because this devious fungus takes control of their brain. These possessed ants then travel to an area where the fungus can flourish and finally kills the ant by sprouting a long stem that bursts right through its skull and sticks out the top. The fungus remains there to shoot spores at its next ant victim, which will continue this vicious cycle. These cordyceps spores literally zombify ants to do their reproductive bidding. But what about toads? They're not zombies. Or are they? Toads exhibit a surprising number of zombie-like behaviors. We all know toads are loyal servants to Princess Peach, and they'll do anything for her to the point where Peach actually uses them as shields in Super Smash Bros. The fact that she does this shows that she doesn't value the lives of toads much. She wouldn't put their lives on the line unless toads were easily disposable to her. Aw, they're adorable disposable minions capable of doing Peach's dirty work. Very impressive. But Peach may have done something even more impressive. Weaponize the cordyceps fungus. No toad is stupid enough to just follow Peach around and put their lives on the line for her without question, unless she pays really, really well. Peach must have found a way to use this cordyceps fungus to zombify the toads and turn them into blindly loyal servants. Let's give Peach a round of applause because that is just amazing. I wish I could have come up with something as brilliant as that. It's as if Peach is some kind of evil dictator bent on world domination. It's absolutely beautiful! What's not beautiful is what the toads probably looked like before they were infected with the cordyceps fungus. If you've created any art about what they would look like before their giant mushroom head took shape, send it to TheGamer on Facebook. I'd love to see your atrocious art skills. As you can see, despite the YouTube video where Yoshiaki Koizumi confirms the mushroom is part of Toad's head, there is still a lot of debate about it. Hopefully I helped you make up your mind as to which school of thought you'd like to commit to. But I'm almost certain that with this new evidence, I probably made things even more confusing than they already were. Sorry, not sorry. Goodbye! And that, our dearest viewers, was Gameology, the study of the deepest and darkest secrets of video games. Now that you've heard all the facts, what do you think? Are you a member of Team Hat, Team Head, or Team Mystery? What video game theory would you like to see covered in the next episode of Gameology? Let us know in the comment section below. I'm personally warming up to Team Mystery. In fact, I think I'll try to make my own cordyceps fungus. Wouldn't it be wonderful to make everyone on the planet subscribe to TheGamer? We're gonna need you on our team to stay up to date with even more interesting theories on the games you love, so subscribe to TheGamer and check out some of our other Gameology videos. Thanks for watching.